Hello everyone and welcome back to LT Gaming, the home of thoughtful strategy, deep dive previews and the occasional overlooked gem that deserves more eyes on it. My name is Tom and today we're returning to a real-time strategy game that's quietly built itself into something genuinely impressive. And that game is Beyond All Reason, or BAR. This one wears its heritage proudly. It's a spiritual successor to Total Annihilation and Supreme Commander, but rebuilt from the ground up by a dedicated community of developers, modders and long-time fans of the genre. No publisher, no price tag, just proper large-scale warfare, endless units and a brilliantly complex economy system to drive it all. And now in 2025, it just dropped one of its biggest updates yet. A full visual overhaul, improved performance, new effects, and yes, plenty of explosions that now look and sound every bit as devastating as they should. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We cover strategy games, immersive indies and deep mechanics with no hype, no nonsense. If that sounds like your kind of thing, do consider giving us a subscription or just stick around and see if this one grabs you. And if you've dabbled in Beyond All Reason before, I'd love to hear what you think of the new update. Is this new lighting a game changer? Are you still all about that economy game? Pop a comment below and let's talk about it. So, what is BAR? Well, it's what happens when a bunch of old school RTS veterans look at the modern strategy landscape, shrug and decide to build their own thing. No corporate meddling, no microtransactions, just thousands of little robots blowing each other to bits, and a streaming economy held together by brain power and ingenuity. It's glorious. Now, BAR doesn't run on gold mines or Tiberium crystals, it runs on metal and energy, and it runs on them constantly. You're not saving up for a tank, you're maintaining a delicate, stressful, and occasionally infuriating balance between what you've got and what you're trying to build. Metal comes from patches on the map, or, my favourite bit, reclaiming wreckages. That means every battlefield is basically a scrapyard full of future tanks. Energy's more flexible, solar panels, wind turbines, geothermal plants if you're lucky, and the catch is, if you overbuild and don't have the juice to support it, your whole operation stalls mid-battle like a rusty car running out of petrol. It's not just about APM or actions per minute, it's also about planning, getting the flow right, managing your economy like you're balancing a wobbly tower of Jenga bricks. And just when you think you've nailed it, your opponent starts nuking your wind farms. Lovely stuff. This isn't a blob game either. You can't just mass up units and hope. Every projectile in BAR is physically simulated. We're talking proper ballistic arcs. Line of sight, terrain elevation. If you fire over a hill, you might miss. Fire into a hill, you definitely miss. And the game rewards smart positioning. Set up tanks on high ground, flank from multiple angles, bait units into traps. It all works and it all feels earned. You've got over 400 units to mess about with, from scout bots and amphibious tanks to long-range missile platforms and flying dreadnoughts the size of a pub. And yet it never feels overwhelming. You learn by doing, watching units engage, seeing what works and what doesn't, and then you try again, but this time with some more artillery to back you up. Now, you start each match with the oh so familiar commander, a big stompy lad. Builds your first structures, explodes like a miniature supernova if he dies, so you know, keep an eye on him. From there, it's entirely up to you. You want to turtle up with plasma turrets and a fat economy, you go for it. Prefer rapid expansion and forward factories on the front line? That also works. You can lay out your base however you want, and the map actually matters. Choke points, cliffs, water routes, high ground, all of it changes how you should play. And then once you tech up, things go from tense to ridiculous. Giant mechs, orbital strikes, nukes, artillery that can reach halfway around the map. But, and this is important, it never becomes unwinnable. There's always a counter and the arms race never stops. Now, the multiplayer scene is outstanding. You've got everything from quick skirmishes to 16-player chaos, solid AI for offline games, and matchmaking is as painless as it gets for a free game made by volunteers. No real login system, no DRM, just click and play. I love it. And the community is absolutely cracking, genuinely helpful. People trade build orders, analyze replays, suggest balance tweaks. You get a sense that everyone's in this together. Not because there's a prize at the end, because it's a damn good strategy game and they want it to thrive. So the Lightbringer update. A dramatic name, but fair play, it does deliver. First up, they've completely overhauled the lighting system. We're talking thousands of new point lights, beam effects, thruster glows, all dynamically cast and animated in real time. Your entire army now lights up the battlefield like a sci-fi rave, but in the best possible way. It's not just for show either. When artillery fires, you see the muzzle flash light up the terrain. When a gunship flies over, its engines leave a glow trail behind. Everything feels that little bit more alive, like the battlefield is breathing. Now here's a clever bit. They've added screen space ray trace shadows. Bit of a mouthful, but in layman's terms it means that shadows are now smarter, softer and more believable. Buildings cast proper silhouettes, units look grounded, not like they're floating above the map like plastic models. The best part is that it's not going to tank your frame rate. It uses depth data instead of brute force ray tracing, so even mid-range rigs should handle it without catching fire. Then there's the subtle stuff. Shockwaves now ripple out from big explosions, heat distortion warps the air around flamethrowers and geothermal plants, but it's not too overdone. It adds this texture to the battlefield that makes everything feel heavier and more physical. Watching a massive mech fire a beam cannon and seeing that blast bend the air around it, more of that please. Now usually when a free game adds better lighting, shadows and effects, you expect it to crawl like it's stuck in glue. But credit where it's due, they've also done a ton of under the hood work to keep things running well. The GUI is more responsive, build menus don't lag out when the battle gets busy, lighting's been offloaded to your GPU, which means your poor CPU isn't doing all the heavy lifting anymore. It just feels snappier, especially in those longer late game matches where everything's exploding at once. And then finally they freshened up the skyboxes. This sounds like a very small thing, but it really isn't. You've got dusk, dawn, atmospheric lighting depending on the time of day. It gives matches a proper sense of place, and it's clearly laying the groundwork for a full day-night cycle down the line. But since this update, the player base has more than doubled. The Discord is pushing 50,000, there's more matches, more modding, more momentum, and honestly it deserves the attention, and that's why I'm highlighting it today. Not because it's perfect, it's not, but because it's keeping on moving forward, always improving, always listening to the players. So this is Beyond All Reason in 2025, still free, still sprawling, and now shinier than ever. It's not chasing trends, it's not trying to be the next big thing, it's just quietly becoming the best version of itself, and honestly that's quite rare in gaming these days. There's something properly satisfying about watching a base come together, a battle unfold, and knowing you won because you planned better, not because you just clicked faster. With the Lightbringer update, that feeling's now wrapped in a genuinely impressive bit of visual polish. If you're an RTS fan or just strategy curious, give it a go. No sign up, no cost, no catch, just download it and you can go ahead. If you do check it out, tell me what you think. What's working for you? What needs some more love? What would you add if you could? I'll be keeping an eye on Bar and where it goes next. It's just one of those games that keeps evolving and it's been a pleasure to watch over the past years. If you like more deep dives like this, strategy previews, indie gems, or just a quiet chat about what makes a good game tick, do consider subscribing if you feel I've earned it. Or just drop by for the next one, no pressure. Cheers for watching guys, take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.